Today we talk about handling argument because there's a lot of argument you have to handle. There's a set of data really shocking me. Is in US, the divorce rate is actually 50%. Almost every two couples in married, one of them gonna divorce. This is really big number. Scientists, psychologists go have interview with them. The number one reason why they divorce is actually because communication. Over 80% of the couples report that the divorce is a cause of a lack of communication or bad at communication. And this reasoning by those couple is actually true. A lot of psychologists do some experiment, see how can I predict who gonna divorce. Their predict rate correct 90% over. And they only look at one criteria of those couple who get divorced is how they handle the crucial conversation. When I talk about crucial, basically means both of the couple is high emotions and they talk about something in high stake. After that, the psychologists even conclude that if some couple receive no long 8-hour couple education, the divorce rate will drastically decrease. And this education mainly is about communication, of course. And that's what we're gonna cover today. Today, we will use marriage as an example, but of course, this skill, communication skill, will be useful in all scenarios. When we talk about when we want to win a conversation, what are we winning? Are we just winning the argument on the moment that another person shut up? It's actually no. It's actually when we start arguing with a significant others, we have a purpose. We want to have some quality time together. We want to go through some issue. We want to talk through some, incoherence in the relationship. The win here is supposed to solving the problem, get better relationship. And study even show if you handle the argument well enough, this conflict will become a ladder to make your relationship even better because it reveals some difference, some trauma that is hidden in the dark. So let's dive into the skill specific. The number one reason why people argue and end up in the bad place is actually because people don't follow their purpose. When they argue, they forget about their purpose. Why I even step in the conversation? I remember that day I was looking at a dad and the kids. The kids want more candy. The dad say no. And what the kids do is not to persuade his dad. It's actually start saying, "You're the most terrible dad I ever see. You're not like other dad." Blah blah blah. So what is this kid is doing? When he say you're a terrible dad, he's decreased the possibility he get the candy, which is the original purpose. Even more, he tried to hurt the dad because he's angry, he's in high emotion. And you think that's a kid's behavior that's naive, but in reality, that's what people do in daily. That's how they start conversation daily. They forget the first purpose, why they even talk. For example, a girlfriend wants to spend some quality time with the boyfriend, but the boyfriend is playing game. So what this girl do is not to talk about she want quality time, she want love. First sentence she may say is, "Oh, why do you even have a girlfriend in the first place? Why don't you just go dating the game?" For the boy, he cannot let the teammate down. He need to be responsible. Maybe he even already tired of the game. But instead to explain, "I want to be a responsible person," the boy normally will say, "Oh, all you do is talk. All you do is be needy and nag me." And that's how people even divorce. Lots of couple in the conversation, lots of couple who divorce in the interview, they even mentioned they divorce is because the kitchen is dirty, and they start a heated argument, and that's how it develop. Not saying what we actually think is the number one killer of relationship. You want to solve some relationship problem, but because you're heated, you are emotional, you say some hurtful stuff, you actually drag the relationship back. And I'm sure that's not most people want it. And that scenario is even good couples conversation. A lot of couples don't even start the conversation. They don't even speak out with sarcasm. They act out. Even not talk about significant others. Just go home to look at your parents. Sometimes they actually act out their attitude instead talk about the issue. They don't want to handle the issue. They think it's problematic. But the reality is you only causes more disaster consequences. And the most funnily, when the communication master doing some experiment, they've actually found out most people in the argument agree about 95% of the stuff. They have a heated argument just because they disagree with the 5%. Or they have the same angle, they just have a different approach to the angle. And they just argue and argue and argue. For the 5% that disagree, or even 2% disagree, they divorce. How crazy that sounds. But that's what actually happens daily with the people. So for the scale, it's actually called A-B scale. What is the A-B scale? It's actually agree. Don't just jump into conclusion on the disagreement. Just agree on the 95% parts first. Agree on the common goal, the common purpose. I'm sure both girlfriend and boyfriend want to have a better relationship, want to have quality time. They have the same goal, but just when we do it, how we do it, or how even I conduct my work is important. And what is a B? Is a build on. Build on is basically based on what we agree. Let's see the disagreement. And maybe you can have your C, comparison. Oh, what's your approach? What's my approach? Maybe we can solve the difference. I don't want to cover too much tactic. Tactic is far not as much important as your purpose, your goal, or even understand the nuances that my purpose switched. So many communication grandmaster is mentioned that most conversation done, or 80% of the conversation done before you even speak out the words. Make sure your purpose, make sure your goal is not hurting him. It's actually to have the quality time you're looking forward to. Of course, this is the marriage. If the significant others have some really terrible behavior we're not covering here, maybe divorce or leave is the best choice. But in the most scenario, like even in the office with your boss, talk about a promotion, this kind of skill to straight up your purpose, it actually helping people to get to the root, to finish the purpose that you get in the conversation with. And I hope today's video helping you. And my name is Paul. I see you next time. Thank you so much.